¡Guau! ¡Guau, qué real! ¡Es real! ¡Es real! Hoy anuncian el creativo, la temporada nueva, las skins y nada más. O sea, no tengo ni idea de qué más van a anunciar. Solo he visto por ahí que hay una skin de Hello Kitty, otra de Pac-Man, de Death Stranding, Zelda y no sé qué hostias más. O sea, vamos a ver, la presentación empieza en 12 minutos 38 segundos. Así que vamos para allá. Solo le pido a la vida que el creativo de este juego sea decente como para mantenerlo un tiempo. Por favor. Y yo a dieta. Vaya violencia en los... Bueno, sin más. ¿Y por qué se ven 360? Porque lo tengo en 360, claro. Ahí está.
Fall Guys Creative is launching on the 10th of May.
Yes.
With the launch just around the corner, we thought today we'd dig into all the juicy details.
Vale, ya lo sabíamos.
Update, but that's not all. We've got some
Acaba de pasar Galatosa por la parte de atrás.
That's right. We have so much exciting stuff planned for 2023.
A ver qué son esas cosas chulas, te lo digo.
Sneak peek and meet the people who are making it happen.
Emocionado, cabrones. Sí, estoy emocionado. Venga, sí, va, venga. Sí, anda, que llevas AFK 6 meses, cabrón. Ya va siendo hora de salir.
Hello, Joe, and welcome to the beautiful Fall Guys HQ library.
Bueno, este es el...
Creative, but before we do that, we've got a few questions about the direction the game has been going. So, what can you tell us?
A ver qué dice.
It's been a long time in development, the new season update, and I think we want to mention that that's something that's kind of going to continue over the course of the year. We're looking to make some big changes to Fall Guys, and that means that seasons are going to get slightly longer to give us the time to kind of make these big changes. But there's going to be big additions happening during a season as well, so you aren't going to get those long droughts of content that we've maybe had in the past.
Menos mal que al menos reconocen que...
That was always a hot topic with our community. That's something that's going to continue as we go into the new season. Old rounds are coming back, some of them are going into the vault, but it's worth mentioning that these things are like really paying dividends for the dev team. It's allowing us to really focus on the new season of Creative, which is, yeah, a big change to the game.
Bueno, que el vaulting va a seguir, pero esto ya lo sabíamos todo. Esto lo sabíamos todo ya.
Yeah, it's been the single biggest change that we've ever made to the game, and it's really exciting to finally give players like the keys to the kingdom. Basically, like we're finally going to see the types of rounds that people want to make, like crazy ideas that we could have never thought of as developers. And this is kind of only the start of it as well. Like the creative that we launched with Season 4 is just the beginning. We're going to be adding new obstacles, new round types, new themes to.
De momento es mucho texto porque van 4 minutos de nada.
Growing as we continue to support Fall Guys over the next few years.
So it really sounds like a cycle can develop. The players inspire the devs, devs inspire the players, and you all come up with something really interesting and unique together. But I mean, how is that going to shape the future of Fall Guys?
Esto sí que es importante.
Yeah, so one of the main changes is that from now on, the dev team at Mediatonic are going to be using the creative tools to build levels for the game exclusively. That means that we can launch more content than we ever have before. With the launch of Season 4, we're going to be dropping over 50 rounds throughout the course of the season, which is way more than we've ever managed before.
50 rondas por temporada?
The first time we can start tweaking the levels over the air, so we won't need to push new updates live to fix bugs, which is, again, like a big problem we've always had with the game. So all of these things are just going to make the content so much richer.
50 mapas a la temporada. Una polla, 50 mapas es mucho, ¿eh? 50 variantes, a lo mejor, sí, sí. ¡Guau! ¡Hola, hola, hola! Ay, no, sí, no voy a poner la pena, así que si no queda muy raro.
Yeah, so once you've completed your round and
Ahí
you've
está.
proved that it's possible, you'll get a share code and you can then share that code with your
Ok.
friends.
Código para compartir con tus compañeros.
Fire that up in custom lobby with your friends or on your own. If you just want to play other people's rounds solo, that's totally fine as well. We're going to be kind of curating the best rounds that are trending as well. And so
O sea, mientras sea pasable, lo puedes compartir con quien quieras. Los mapas.
of all the best content from the community, and you might even get your round into main show. We're also going to be adding and improving the discoverability stuff, so hopefully in the future it will just get even easier for you to find the types of rounds that you want to play.
Very cool. Another work in progress.
No me lo creo,
This is
macho.
getting better. Amazing. So you mentioned.
No me lo
themes
creo.
earlier. Each season does seem to have its own very specific theme. Is this season?
O sea, es como en Mario
Season
Maker,
4 is
literal.
launching with a digital theme. It's sort of a pastel-y, vaporwave inspired theme. And this theme is launching with a bunch of really cool retro digital costumes.
Otra retro digital,
Boom blast
hostia.
as well, which is sort of a hybrid between a punch glove and one of the lily pads as well. So something new for people to play with. All of this stuff is going into
Hostia, pero esto
creative
se ve
content
muy
for
beta,
each
¿eh?
one.
Well, the Boom Blaster sounds like it's going
Ese mapa se veía muy beta, no había muchos detalles, digamos,
Get hands on with that and build with it as well from day one, which is very exciting. Are there any other little changes in the season we can get a sneak peek of?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch more stuff.
A ver, ¿qué viene más?
The show selector is getting like a fresh coat of paint, so you'll be able to now have way more stuff live through the show selector, kind of creative rounds, other stuff. Also,
Hostia, nuevo modo, chaval.
community have wanted improvements to for a long time. So we've taken a look at the code there, and we're kind of changing the way you jostle and bump against other players, so it should feel more fluid and more fun.
¿Qué van a cambiar las físicas? No te
Finally,
creo.
we're going to be changing the way season passes.
Y los pases, va.
Season passes are going away and we're replacing them with a shorter fame pass.
Menos
So you're gonna
mal.
have multiple fame passes each season. These fame passes are going to be shorter.
10 pases de
more
temporada,
bite-sized,
la de-
40 tiers to each one, and they're going to cost 600 Showbucks, so they're going to be cheaper.
Espera, 600
This is gonna
alumines cada
allow players to
uno.
kind of feel good about completing those things in a more bite-sized way, which kind of matches the way that people tend
600
to play.
alumines cada pase,
But
1800
they're still
alumines
really
toda la
cool,
temporada,
amazing costumes, our own costumes, kind of collaboration costumes as well. So yeah, really excited to launch that with season
Hostia,
4.
pues sí que hay cosas nuevas,
So
¿qué
much, Jared.
cojones?
Cannot wait to dive in. And we actually have a
Pues sí que hay cosas buenas y nuevas, hostia. Pero de verdad.
We've only just started the show, and already we know that next season, your
Vale.
Fall Guys will step into the digital realm. Creators will be able to work with the same tools as the development team.
Okay.
We're dropping 50 new rounds throughout the season. Whew. You want more? Fine. Today's
sí, llevo
reveal is
6 meses
about
sin nada,
giving you
crack,
a
¿eh?
full exploration of creative. So let's do just that and jump on over to the Mediatonic studio, where the team there are going to walk us through how you go about creating.
Vale, justo lo que quería ver, cómo se crea una ronda, vale. ¿Cómo se crea esto? En 8 días tenemos esto,
I'm
¿eh?
Medina,
And I'm Max.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
and today we're going to show you creative and build a round together.
Yeah, so let's just get right into it. So from the get-go, we have the new creative tab where you can now create.
Bueno,
new
sí que hay una
rounds,
pestaña arriba.
unlike previous rounds, but we're going to start a new round.
Yeah,
so we're going to
let's
go
go.
straight into that. From the beginning, you can immediately see it's going to ask you what mode you want to make.
Okay.
For now, we're just going to build a race. There will be
Finales
more coming
del tirón.
Eventually, but for now, we're just going to build a race, and the same with the theming. So you can change the sort of theming of your race or other modes as we bring them in. So we're going to go for original.
Just a bit of a disclaimer here. Remember that this is a dev build,
Yes.
and there could be some slight changes on release.
Uy, podría haber cambios. Qué mala es esa frase en este juego, madre mía. Puede haber pequeños cambios, sí, ya, pequeños.
You're going to want to
Ya.
acknowledge is that in the top left there's a checklist. So you're going to need a start line and a finish line for a race.
Okay.
You'll also see that you can move the cursor around with the left stick. And obviously rotate the camera with the right stick.
Okay.
And
Bueno, se ve
we've
fino, al
got
menos.
Our start line here to get us started.
Okay,
A few things that when we're going to start building this round out is we've got our objects list. When you press right on the D-pad, immediately you're greeted with a whole bunch of icons that. might
Uy,
not
acabo de ver el
immediately make
budget
sense.
arriba,
So let's walk
Arriba a la derecha lo he visto.
So we have our platforms tab, which is just our static geometry.
¿Veis el budget? Eso significa el presupuesto que tienes para todo el...
Bits of geometry that aren't quite floors and walls.
Para todo el
or
mapa.
other
Son
small
1000 en total.
obstacles you can place. We have our moving surfaces. We have obstacles, which.
O sea, que no es
we all
infinito el
recognize
creativo.
Our pendulums and our cannons. And our little bits
Cada
of
troncho son
decoration,
50
which,
y el
sort of
límite
add a
son
little bit of
1000.
flavor to your
O
rounds.
sea, puedes poner 20 tronchos en un mapa, ya
You
está.
can use sort of and place them at the end to kind of give you around a bit of depth. You can see across all of the objects that you can place that there is a
Han saltado
number
anuncio,
attached
¿verdad?
to them.
Mierda, perdón.
That affects your budget in the top right. Once you reach the end of that budget, you're not allowed to build anything else. For that reason, it's good to build the bare bones out of your round, get the basic gameplay concepts, and then add layers on top of that from there. In terms of your controls, you've got access to kind of going up and down, moving around with the stick, as said, and you can zoom in and out for those finer details. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's dive in.
First things first.
Bueno, la verdad que parece fácil, la verdad.
Players we want our round to be right.
Yeah.
So we're going to go into changing our settings here. And
I think we should go for a medium.
You think medium?
Yeah.
So you don't want to build a small starting
¡Me
line.
cago en todo, por fin!
So we got
¡Hostia!
a medium starting
Por
line.
fin novedades.
So,
Un abrazo,
Lydia,
crack.
you've got
Gracias,
a
Cuaitillo, por los 25
right?
meses.
Yeah, I wanted to play with the DoorDash.
Okay.
Ah, sí, justo, Puertas del Éxito, mi mapa favorito. Claro que sí,
These are a
hombre.
little small.
Yeah.
¿Quién no va a
make
hacer
it
Puertas del
fine.
Éxito? Sí.
Again, on each of our objects, you can change the properties of each object. Most of the objects have different properties, some relating to color, some to just general values. So in this instance, I can change the amount of doors and how many of them will actually be open or closed.
Todas, todas.
You're going to rotate them.
Todas o una, literal.
So we're going to line that up, and then we're going to get
A little bit of floor.
a little bit, so you can test from anywhere in your round. So we can see that that works. Copy this, do
Let's
the same
make it-
thing.
Yeah, third row of it. And that's what's really fun also with creative is you can use any obstacles and just rotate them, try to experiment with them.
Do things that we've not normally done in our previous rounds.
Exactly.
So we're gonna
Se puede hacer para
copy
abajo y
the
puedes copiar
platform,
entero y
and
puedes
this is
hacerlo
the
como
place
por 3 o por
to
4.
get a little checkpoint in, which is
Gracias a la moto esa allí.
Similarly with everything else, you'll see that it comes in a little too big for the level we're making. That's fine. We'll just bring this out, change the settings, make it a little smaller to meet what we want.
Perfect.
And
Madre, es que puedes hacer lo que te salga a los
Now, I've got
cojones,
a different
literalmente.
section. I'm thinking we get 2 slime platforms on either side with a conveyor coming against us and some little bollards to make it a bit sneaky.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we're gonna just make that quite thin, drag that out. As you can see, we're just
Hostia,
grabbing
puse a la...
objects from the
¡Oh,
object
lolo! ¡Qué
pool,
cojones,
copying
chaval!
them, making them to the perfect size, and just getting them in. So then we're gonna get our bollards. We're gonna whack these in a nice little sort of.
Dios, es que
triangular
puedes hacer lo que
thing.
quieras,
Just so we
madre,
get a bunch
chaval.
of
No me lo esperaba
players
tan
following in. It's a
bueno,
little difficult.
creo.
And then we'll copy these. So with the paint tool, you don't have to hold it.
Copy,
You can
clear
just kind of
section.
drag things out as you want, copy that. I don't even have to redo all of that work. So we're now gonna select our final little boller because we just want one in the middle. There we go, we've immediately got our 2 parts. We're now gonna get
conveyor
the
you
conveyor.
mentioned.
Yeah. So we're gonna set this in the settings.
Es que va a caer, literalmente.
We're gonna set this to go to reverse. We're gonna have this at normal speed because I think fast might be a bit
Will
too
be
much.
too
Bit too much. And then we're gonna conjoin this with a standard platform, really short section, nice and sweet. Drag this out. And then because I'm feeling just a little bit fiendish, we're gonna get some hammers in there as well.
Ah, pero esto es lo
Now,
más
hammers,
simple, o
similarly to what I've
sea...
seen, sometimes they're like in this position in previous rounds. This time we're gonna have them sideways. So you can use the same object in a different way to achieve the
Piensa
same
que lleva un cuarto del mapa, ya.
We're going to put this one here, and we're going to rotate it round. Now, something you can do, if we go into play here, you'll see that they kind of go at the same time. And if that's what you want, that's great. But if you want
O sea,
something a
eso es
little
un
more
cuarto del
chaotic,
mapa,
you can
lo que
just
lleva
put it
hecho,
all
más o
around.
menos.
Perfect.
And then I'm thinking you get a checkpoint in there.
Yeah, little checkpoint after that section would be perfect.
Do the same thing. Actually,
Me falta, sí, a mí también me faltan cosas en el fondo de la temática, pero hay bastante
Exact
cosa,
same size as we need as well, so perfect.
So now that we've got this this checkpoint, and
Es un
I did the
checkpoint,
previous
¿vale?
section, what are you thinking we should do for the next
Yeah,
one?
so I was thinking that we could add a little bit of verticality again to the level because we went down. Let's go
Yeah,
back
okay,
up.
O sea, puedes hacer un valle literalmente en el Fall Guys ahora
Let's do
mismo.
that. And this is what's great about creative. If you and your friends just want to get together, kind of bounce ideas off each other and just create something on the fly, you
Yeah.
can do that.
Let's put a little drum.
Guau, es que con la enfermedad que tengo yo para la creatividad, tío, esto me está dando una de cosas.
Yeah, a little
¿Qué es eso?
inspiration.
Ah, solo los tambores
Now,
de
the
Lily
drums are a bit
Leapers.
tall, so I think we might need to add
Do you
in
need
some
the ramps?
ramps.
Yeah,
let's
you
get
need
some
to
ramps
put
in there.
ramps.
As I said, like every object, these are customizable, so we kind of need the height here, so we're going to need to
Rotate,
change the
confirm,
settings.
move,
We need
cancel,
a
vale.
larger slope. Maybe let's
Le
make
puedes
it a
cambiar
bit
el
shorter,
color,
and then change the color. Give it
la inclinación que tiene y lo grande lo pequeño que es.
Extend this out by 1. There we go. A nice little ramp
Ahí
up.
está. Hazlo un poco más grande que si no me caigo, por favor.
Now, after the drums, you can put little blocks, you
Yeah.
know, to have a little platform to land on.
So let's do that, and then we'll cut this in.
Perfect. Yeah,
and
exactly what I
copy
had in
this
mind.
out. There we go.
Awesome.
I'm glad I'm reading your mind here. So what are you feeling after this?
So I want to make
Que aún le falta por hacer, bastante, o sea, ojo.
challenges. I was thinking for the left one we could go with this fan, yeah.
Creo que se han gastado todo el presupuesto del vídeo en enseñarnos esto, que llevamos 15 minutos ya, Cuidado.
This is because the object itself
Cuidado,
is probably going to collide with the other object.
Let's change their settings.
Yeah, change the settings, yeah.
Anti-clockwise.
Ah, la bola de fans, ahí lo tienes.
Give it a little bit of a delay, maybe. Yeah. And this one.
¿Le puedes cambiar el tamaño?
Fast.
Yeah, with a little more. I know what you're
La
going with
velocidad,
this.
¿qué más ponía ahí?
And then what do you think for the other side?
Maybe we'll go with the rotating beam. Yeah,
I'm
the
already there.
rotating beam.
I'm already there.
A esta altura de vértigo, literal.
Side. So immediately we can go in, play this, check this out. It's always worthwhile if you're going to build a...
Y lo puedes jugar al
quick
instante,
round,
tío.
Make sure that both sides are achievable. As you look at this, I'm awful at these, but... Oh.
Well,
Que
you're
dice
doing great.
que es malo en ese mapa, yo, ya.
And let's check
¿Cómo se
the
trata el
other
juego, bola de
side.
fans? Vamos.
Really gig vibes here. I'm feeling it. It's fine. We're all good.
Brilliant.
Now we need to bring these in line. And
Oye, ahora estaba pensando, lo de las físicas que ha dicho de antes, ¿se refiere al 360 y cosas así?
I love the little seesaws. They have this lovely white line, so you roughly know when you're looking at it from above
Perfect
where
to
to
align
line
them.
them up.
Ay,
And we get the last
balancines.
one there. Change the colors, just, you know, give it a little bit of flavor.
Y aún queda bastante,
Yeah.
And then
Y aún queda
another
bastante.
checkpoint.
Yeah, let's go.
Wonderful. And now I think we should do the last dash
Yeah.
to the end of the level.
Wrap up the level.
Yeah?
Have a little idea of where I want to go there. Let's have some.
You're
Ay,
gonna
pero es
sign
que este
for
es
it.
un concepto muy básico de mapa, O sea, están poniendo
Down to the end,
lo más básico
yes.
posible.
We have a little long ramp. I think we
Can make
take
it a
this.
little longer.
Yeah, a little longer?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to rotate this, give it a little slant. And then we're going to get a second
copy it.
one.
Make
get
it steep.
steeper. Oh, and we'll get that in there close as we can.
nice.
Lovely.
Ojalá
Little
rinos aquí,
test.
Ojalá rinos al
I
final.
love that we can't see
Can't
the
see
second one.
Well, this just exudes chaotic vibes.
It
Let's keep this
Brilliant.
going.
Y aún le queda budget para poner más,
Yeah?
And put some pendulums over there.
And then I'm thinking at the end of this, let's have one right at the end.
Cheeky.
Very cheeky.
El
Just
cual no hace
get that
absolutamente
right
nada,
before
pero
we
bueno,
place
o
our
sea,
finish
ese martillo no hace nunca nada.
line. And
Esa
then
bola.
I think we can place our finish line.
Yeah, let's go.
And now I think that is our round. And look at that. It looks like a very simple, straightforward round. We did this in a really
Pero es
short
que
period of
las
time.
rondas del Fall Guys no tienen que
You
ser
can just
eternas, pueden ser rondas de un minuto pero que sean divertidas, o de 30 segundos. Es que ese es el concepto que tiene la gente mal del Fall.
What you want to do when you're ready and you're done with your round, you're going to press the start button or the button appropriate to your controller. Firstly, I recommend saving. That will just automatically save the round and also
Save, publish, help, leave editor.
You can adjust that later. It just makes sure you don't lose any progress while you're building
Okay.
things. And we're going to hit the publish flow.
Yeah, let's go.
So
¿Y lo publica al instante cuando te lo pasas?
Camera of the level as well.
Something that
Ojo,
you'll
y la
see
cámara te hace
probably
automático
recommend
el
for
camino.
to make sure that
Vaya,
you've got
automático,
the
ha puesto la
unlock
meta,
and
literal, tampoco hay que...
Alright, so let's see if we can
Let's go.
play this. Now,
Yeah.
so you can see because we changed the
Hostia, lo de las puertas para abajo, la verdad que no es mala idea,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm awful at this. Oh, I'm awful. Come
Como
on,
rebotan las
there we
puertas,
go.
tío.
I'm gonna take the risky
You're
route.
going to the path of most resistance here.
Ha ido por el peor de los dos, era mejor por la izquierda, creo.
Sí,
Sí, a ver, que sea mejor por la izquierda, pero bueno.
players you're building for, you'll want to make sure there's space for players to get through. So whilst it may seem fairly easy on your own, it's probably going to be a bit harder when more players
20
are going
players.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are doing great.
No fails
A ver,
yet.
estás en un balancino contra uno, también te lo
I don't
digo,
want to jinx it.
O el récord, seguramente.
You know,
Ah,
we
con
should've
360,
done-
tú
we
tranquilo.
should've
We
changed
should
the
have
pendulum
done
timers.
little delays.
But that's the thing, you can change the flavor to however you want it to, and you know. And I should have jumped. Okay. I'll make
malo es
sure I
este
jump
pibe.
this
Oh.
time.
Yeah, this time do not forget to jump.
Sometimes I'm
You
just bad at
got
that.
it.
Alargando el vídeo 10 segundos más, vale,
Done
vale.
the test complete, and we can now choose to publish. So we can either cancel this if we want to make some changes, or you didn't like.
O sea, te lo tienes que pasar tú mismo para poder publicarlo. O sea, que si eres malo no lo seas, básicamente, con este juego.
Change that if we wanted.
I think we're good
I think we're
for
good.
this run through.
So let's just publish this, and that gives us our share.
Y te da un código, vale, es literalmente igual que en el
And now you
Fortnite.
can like hand that around to your friends, put it out into the online community, and get players
Vale.
in the rounds.
Yeah,
sea,
I
es literalmente Fortnite,
run through
tal
gave you a
cual.
good idea of what creative can do. And yeah, it's all about build your round, play it, and share it with your friends and the community. We're super excited to see what you guys can come up with and what you're going to build. And yeah, we're looking forward to play what you're going to make.
We've been doing this for a long time, so we're super excited to see the things.
Estoy pensando ya en uno de tambores infinito para arriba o para abajo,
All right. Catch you later. See you in
Pero con los tambores muy lejos. Ya tengo una idea con los tambores bastante hardcore.
Play, share. It's as easy
Ya tengo una idea de tambores bastante hardcore ahora mismo, ¿eh? Me ha venido a la cabeza.
Original and digital themes, and you'll be able to create your own races on launch. But we'll also be adding more round types, themes,
Esto vale, más
obstacles, and
cosas.
music in future updates. Whew. So, now
¿ya
you've
está?
heard all that, I think you're probably ready to jump in and start building. And we've got a few tips to help give you a boost.
Que van a ir
Firstly,
añadiendo
make sure you're a
cosas.
member of the Fall Guys Discord server, where you'll be able to share your creations using your round share code. Next, if
Entres
you're
al Discord para compartir.
pointers or inspiration, then keep an eye out for our brand new YouTube series. Finally, the Mediatonic team will be roaming through their favorite creations to add to specially constructed creator round playlists, and they will be in the live shows tab. Now,
Pues sí, va a haber un modo de rondas así. Esto Lore, me da igual. Va a haber un modo que sea solo de los mapas que queremos nosotros, según han dicho. A ver cuándo se hace este modo también, pero bueno. Ay, no. No, que iba muy bien la presentación. No quiero Lore, no quiero Lore, no quiero Lore. Hola, Murray, pero primero biblioteca. Sí, sí. Ay, Dios, no, Lore, no, por Dios, Lore, no.
Fall Guys. So as I'm introducing you to this library, why don't you tell us how you've introduced a narrative to Fall Guys and what that's been like?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a lot of fun, you know, finding ways to introduce new characters, new stories to that world.
Vale, yo creo que esto lo voy a quitar de la presentación. Esto es lo que no nos interesa a ninguno. Yo quiero novedades, pero en plan quiero cosas, quiero cosas. A mí el lore me la pela, ¿no? El lore no es lo importante de este juego, o sea. ¿Por qué te cae tan mal la Lorena es buena onda, sí, claro. Esto es relleno, sí.
Yeah, so going all the way back to the beginning, the original launch of Fall Guys, we've always had Pink, who is our kind of every bean, and also introduced it slightly later, but has been around.
Ya en 8 minutos y medio,
is Clovis.
No quiero Lore, por favor, no quiero Lore. Es que la presentación iba muy bien hasta I-20, pero es que de aquí ya no sé. Bueno, va a haber un nuevo personaje que se llama Digi, ya está.
So we're hoping to look into, you know, what happened to Digi.
Ya has explicado todo. Sí, va.
Mystery. Okay, all right. Well, speaking of mystery, for the uninitiated, why don't you give us a recap of the main Fall Guys story so far?
I mean, if we take it back to when we fought Stash and Sally, being Stash and Sally, kind of messed it all up, and it got to the point where Silent was like, you know what, I'm just going to go up there and do it myself. And they started looking for this signal, and they found a signal coming from the planet. But as they found it, something went wrong, and it got Silent stuck inside the machinery of the satellite.
Está cayendo muy mal el Murray este, de verdad,
To their rescue, as you would have seen at the end of that season.
That's why we love banana.
Always there.
Valteren a Murray, por favor, sí, por favor, Valteren a Murray.
Out of that machinery.
¡Que sí! ¡Que no quiero Lore ya! ¡Hostia! Es que me pone muy tenso que una puta presentación después de 6 meses te hablen de Lore, que es lo que menos nos importa a todos, o sea... ¡Hostia! Quiero cosas. No quiero Lore.
346 minutos más tarde.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much.
Gracias, Murray. Claro que sí. Gracias, Murray. Gracias, Murray.
We'll see you next time. Bye. Wait, I almost forgot.
Es que es lo que estaba esperando.
earlier that we were going to look at what else is planned for the future.
Está claro.
And I don't break my promises. So let's get into it. One little warning before we dive in. These features
Buah, ¿qué va a ser? ¿Qué va a ser? Nadie sabe qué es esto.
Which means they could change drastically.
¿Qué va a ser esta mierda? Va a salir en 2030, pero da igual.
Outside of the Mediatonic studio. So you've been warned. Now we've got that out of the way, let's head back over to Joe for some exclusive details.
Por Dios, que sea algo bueno.
Welcome back, Joe. We've dragged you back in because we want to
Vale,
talk
estos
about
3 minutos, por Dios.
experimental features, and they aren't a guarantee. I need to reiterate, need to make it clear. Not
Vale,
a
puede ser que no
guarantee,
salgan.
but Still
Bueno,
very
nada.
exciting to think about. So, how does it feel to talk about these?
Yeah, it's certainly scary. We never really talked about features that were kind of early in development before, but I think it's really important that we take an opportunity to kind of show our players our ambitions for the game.
En los próximos años, madre mía, qué optimista
We
eres.
want to do more and more with these silly little jelly beans that we have. Like, we love them so much, and I just think there are so many great ways that we can take this game. And yeah, wanted to have an opportunity to kind of peel behind the curtain a little bit and show what it's like to develop things earlier on in development.
So, which features are you most excited about?
Power-ups is a way to kind of inject kind of even crazier gameplay into Fall Guys in a way that we haven't really been able to find the space for yet. So kind of allowing Fall Guys to do weird and wonderful things and giving players
¡Hostia,
control
el
over,
pingüino en
like,
drogas!
I think is really cool. And all of this would kind of be delivered through creative as well. So you can
Dobles
put power-ups in
saltos.
your own levels and certain places and things like that.
So, of course,
Vale.
again, you know, we have to say
Eso es sacado
that
del
these
Crash
might not
Bandicoot,
be
del
ready,
tirón.
But anything else you've conceived that might come to the game?
Yeah, I mean, there's other stuff that we've been playing around with over the past year that it's just fun to show demonstrations of, really. Tether mode is something we've been making, which is basically if you imagine co-op Fall Guys, but with giant bungee cords between you.
Okay, all right.
Que vas con una cuerda con tu compañero, o sea, madre mía.
Yeah, we've been playing it where you're tethered, and if you run kind of either side of a pillar, you both get pulled back.
Oh my gosh.
And you can kind of pull the other person up if they fall off the mat. We've had lots of fun testing that, and it feels very promising.
That's pretty fun. That could be troll or incredibly wholesome, depending on how you
Yeah,
utilize
exactly.
it.
And that's kind of one of the ways we've been looking at co-op gameplay in the game, for example. Like, we know players love playing Fall Guys, maybe not in a competitive setting, and we think it'd be really fun to kind of look at what co-op might be, for example. Another thing that we've been doing, for example, is the roll feature, which was adding new movement to the Fall Guys.
Hostia, el culo a gol, madre mía, de repente.
So what would it feel like if you could curl up into a ball and bounce your way around levels, bounce off Yeetus hammers and things like that?
Oh my gosh, that would make tail tag even more infuriating.
Yes, exactly. So yeah,
Sí,
lots
es
to do
verdad, en
there.
Roba la Cola
It's
puedes
just
rebotar
fun
por
to
las
kind of
paredes
show the
ahora.
kind of
Parkour, literal,
prototyping
parkour.
things that we can do
¡Mamá,
in the studio
chaval!
and just, yeah, give people a sense of all the things that we want to do with the game.
Obviously, players.
Sonic! Mamá, el Sonic!
Way since its inception, but for you, that must be even more wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an amazing ride. I think one thing we always wanted, you know, before the game even came out, we talked about one day.
Bueno, o sea, que están trabajando en bastantes cosas con la tontería.
Finally to be at the point where Creative has nearly launched.
Pero no he dicho nada del
It's really
360 aún,
exciting. I think Fall Guys is in a special place where, you know, anybody can make a level. Like, you just have to throw a couple of obstacles and a start and a finish line and hope that this could be the opportunity for people who've maybe never tried their hand at game design before. But yeah, more generally, it's been a real ride. We haven't got everything right. You know, we've made mistakes over the course of development, and I kind of just wanted to take the opportunity to thank
Hemos
our players
cometido
for
errores a lo largo del desarrollo, hombre.
figure out
Es
the weird and
increíble.
wonderful
Me han
world of Fall
gustado
Guys.
más las nuevas mecánicas que
It's been a
tardarán
real
Pues
5
unas
años en
cuantas,
ser
la-
más
Getting
creativas.
people from creative beyond into kind of weird and wonderful directions over the next few years.
Weird and wonderful.
Bueno, al menos han dicho que la han cagado, ¿sabes? O sea, es muy importante
Thank you so
eso.
much, Joe, and thank you to all of you for watching.
Ya está, ya se ha
home.
acabado, así.
Remember, Creative does come out on May the 10th. So dive in and have fun. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Qué guapo, ¿ves? Es sencillo, pero está bien. Pero es... Qué guapa la música, chavales. Es como la temporada 4 otra vez. ¿Ves? Son sencillos, pero son entretenidos y cada uno es diferente, ¿eh? Es que lo que le hacía falta a este juego. Mira las bolas en plan retro total, ya ves, ya ves. Te digo, los fondos se ven muy sencillos, pero es que me da igual, o sea, yo no quiero fondos, yo quiero lo que hay en el juego en sí. Y ya está, hasta aquí la presentación. Pero ha estado bien, ha estado bien.